Hi, today I'll be going over what our program does. So once you run it, a welcome message will be displayed welcoming the user to enter in a number for each action it wants the user to do. And how this is accomplished is that once main is called, a new instance of student is formed, and the main function is called 3 times with the options method. And what the options method does is that it asks the user to print out or enter in a number 1 through 7 so that it will detect what the user wants to do based off that and enter in like the function it will use based on what the user inputs for the student class. So if we go over to the student class, the first method is attendance, and basically what attendance does is that you have to enter in 0, 1, or 2 for your attendance. So, but if you enter in a number that's not 0, 1, or 2, like 3, then it'll prompt an error message. But once you do enter in a valid attendance number, then it will record whatever attendance you had in the array above, which is called at attendance, short for, or like at array. And then the next function corresponds directly to that attendance function or method. So once you call that method by entering in 2, it will say what attendance option you were based on what you inputted based using these if statements just to decipher or determine what attendance option you were that day. So when I entered in 0, I was marked absent, so I just inputted myself as absent for today. And for the third method, which is schedule, it prompts the user to enter in numbers to choose from a math class, a history class, and an English class. So if I want to schedule a math class, I have to either enter 1 or 2. But if I enter in 3, for example, on accident, it'll be okay since it'll prompt me to enter it in again. So once I enter it in correctly, it asks me what history class I'll be taking. And so I'll be taking Honors US History. And the next one is what English class I'll be taking, so I'll enter in 5, which is Language Arts. And once that's done, it'll store the values in the schedule array, which is a 2D array. And then once that's stored, then I can call the printout classes method or the reports shed method. And what that will do is basically go through and have a switch statement, and for each of the numbers I inputted before, it checks whether or not the number is whatever it relates to the class. So if I type in 4, it says based on what I entered in before, which was Advanced Pre-Algebra, HUSH, or just short for Honors US History, and Language Arts, it just prints out the correct version of these classes from the numbers. The next method will be to assign a grade. So if I want to assign a grade, I have to enter in 5, and then here it asks you to enter in your grade as a percent, and it stores it in the grade array. So if I got a 70%, let's say, I will enter in 70. The next method, which is report grade, allows you to see what grade letter you got based on what percentage you received. So if I type in 6 to report a grade, I got a C. And how this works is that it goes in the array, it goes to the student's array spot where it stored the grade, and it compares it to numbers based on what grade letter you get. So since 70 is lower than 79 and is greater than 69, it will print out you got a C. And that's how it works basically. And for the last method, which is exit, it will exit the whole student and we'll move on to the next student so that they can have a turn at entering whatever methods they choose. And additionally, if a student inputs a wrong number, let's say 8, it'll prompt the user to re-enter the number again. So let's say that we exit student 1, student 2, and student 3. Now once that's done, the system will print out a thank you message for using the system, because all the students have now passed and used their methods hypothetically. And that is the gist of the whole program.